Hello there, Sandra Mason here. Today I wanted to talk about binding. I do not have a binder. I want one so bad, but at this point in time, I'm not going to be able to get one for another couple months. So I've looked at all the videos and I've read the forums and I've talked to people and tried to come up with a different way of binding at home that would work for me. So before we begin the adventure, I would like to show you guys what the situation is with my chest. So try to get up here and see if I can show you. So right in here, the chesticles, I guess some people call them. Side view, I'm a D cup. So kind of obvious right here. And so that's what oftentimes will give away the fact that I am a girl, biologically speaking. So when I'm presenting as a male and I have the beard on, I really don't want people to see my chest because it's very obviously breasts, not just man boobs, which some people have. So I didn't want to have a beard and people kind of look strangely at me because they saw my chest, because it would definitely draw attention to the beard and would probably have people figuring out the fact that I made the beard and I didn't grow the beard. So I'm going to show you guys and talk a little bit more about how I bind, or attempted binding. So stay tuned. Alright, welcome back. So I had to grab the hardware, so to speak. I tried all kinds of different methods. I found the ones that said to try a tight sports bra or a tighter bra. So I did. I tried it out, and one of the issues I had is actually cutting deeply into my chest, right underneath my breast. It was really, really tight on that area because it was trying so hard to push down what I have. And even with it being that tight, I still looked like a B cup or higher. It did nothing for me. So I tried the tight t-shirt technique, where you layer up some tight t-shirts to kind of suppress what's happening. And all it did was highlight what's happening. So I kind of dug through my closet and tried to find a way to tame the wild beasts that live in this general area. So I came up with a way that's very similar to wearing tight sports bras. Ooh, there we go. But instead of it being super tight, it's just more of a light compression and just a layering to kind of gently flatten it out a little bit. It really doesn't work too well, but it does flatten and more than it kind of compresses. So if you're wearing the right clothes, it does actually work. So part one to the hardware is, if I can grab it over here and do my dramatic reveal, right here, this is a genie bra. I don't know if you remember, they had a lot of television advertisements a few years ago, and the whole idea of this, which is one size fits all, is to shape more than anything else. It's for support, but it's also to give a nice kind of warm embrace situation. So one of the ways that it works is it definitely has just a really soft, I don't know if you can see this, band that goes around it that's really stretchy and comfortable. And the same with the straps as well. But where the magic happens is they have some padding in here. And what the padding does is it really just kind of sits on there, and with the whole stretchy thing, really pushes it down. And it's really comfortable, and it doesn't have the real force of a sports bra given the comfort band. And they're really not that expensive. I looked at Kmart for a new one. This one is so old. And they're about $14.99 at Kmart. On clearance it was. But I'm sure you can find them online. Personally, I didn't have $14, so I'm stuck with this one. But I found that it's actually not enough for me. So I layer. This is my bottom layer. I start with this. And then I move to, this is really disgusting and ratty, but I have ancient sports bras from like my first years of high school, which was a very long time ago. And they're Champion. See the little doohickey? Champion. And they're just regular old, soft, relaxing kind of sports bras. It doesn't have support pretty much at all. The elastic is just shot from all the years and the wear and tear. And it used to be white, and now it's gray. And I put it over top of this because it adds more suppression to it. And it flattens it out completely because there is no cup to this at all. It's literally just fabric. So it pushes down on the support that I already have, making it even flatter. So now that we have discussed the hardware that I have and the way that I layer it, I will give you guys a demonstration. So another second and I'll be right back. So now demoing the way that it looks. The straps aren't going to be even, which drives me insane, believe me. So you just make sure that they're nice and tight. And I usually like them a little bit closer to my neck than my shoulders. I have really broad shoulders, so that I feel like it's pulled up more. And then you can see how it's completely flattened out. Like, this is very flat right now. It's not doing the whole hello world, come see me kind of thing. It's hiding out a little bit, and it's very, very comfortable. It's breathable. I can move in it. I'm not getting that pull and that dig right here. And the best part is it was super cheap. So it's a little bit like just getting regular sports bras, but again, it's just the softness and the breathable kind of aspect. And I just found this flattens me out a lot better than the sports bras that I even tried on. So now that we've done the underneath view, we shall do a fashion show. So again, stay tuned for the next phase in the Binder Chronicles. Okay, so this is the same t-shirt that I was wearing from earlier, obviously. And now this is it with the attempted binder. You can definitely still see it. Like I said, it doesn't really work that well, but it definitely helps because it's flattened it out. It doesn't have that same semicircle thing going on. You can kind of see the sides of it, but if I keep my arms kind of down or tucked in, which I keep them in my pockets, hands in my pockets anyway, so it's no problem. It kind of has more of the appearance of like boobs, man boobs, or pecs, because it has that going on. And you can see from the side, it definitely doesn't have that curve as much as it did earlier. It just is a little bit on the flatter side. So this is one of the things I'll do sometimes, is I'll just go with a t-shirt. It's a little bit on the looser side of things, but it still doesn't always work enough for me, especially if I am going out in the makeup. So I'll either wear a super thick and tight polo shirt. I have one, and because it's so thick and tight, again, it just keeps compressing more than just showing it off like a tight t-shirt would. Or I'll do looser fitting clothing on the top, like either a button-up, an overshirt, or a hoodie, which I will demo as well just in a second here. So here we go for a fashion show of sorts. So this is option number 2. You've got the button-up. I know a lot of videos comment on the fact that you can wear a button-up, and it really helps kind of hide things because it's nice and loose. And the pockets kind of give the illusion of being what's up here instead of what's really under here. And patterns like this definitely detract from different details on your body. So this is definitely great because, I mean, if you look, pretty flat there, looking all right. Or sometimes I'm not really into button-up shirts very much because I really don't have that many that fit me anymore. So you can also do, I love doing that, open, which is what I like to do. The only issue with that is if a gust of wind comes or you move the wrong way, it's going to flap open and your breast is going to be like, hello world, come look at me. And that's not a good thing. So there is one other thing that I like to do, and honestly, it's the most successful. And thankfully, we are in the absolute best season for it. So stay tuned, because my absolute favorite's coming right back. So my absolute favorite is sweatshirts. The great thing about sweatshirts is that when winter comes around, which it is up in the northern hemisphere, and it's so cold outside right now, that you can wear sweatshirts all the time, anywhere. With jackets, some people use those, I've heard, to kind of hide things. Number one, they can flap open, like the button-up shirt if you have it unbuttoned. And number two, I know a lot of times in my experience, people will look at me kind of funny if I keep my jacket on inside for extended periods of time. With hoodies, nobody cares. It's completely and utterly normal. And even when I'm not binding, I have been called male pronouns and taken for a male in public. This is partly because my hoodies, I can fit probably about 3 people in these now, since I lost a bunch of weight recently. But they're just so comfortable, and because they have bagginess most of the time, that really helps. And they're so thick and frumpy that it doesn't really matter what's happening underneath or anything like that. So that is my absolute favorite. I'm a huge hoodie person. I have lost count of how many I have, by the way. West Virginia pride. So that is my wardrobe binding advice, or just personally what I do about it. So that is my video on binding. I feel it important to mention what every other binding video mentions, and that's do not use ace bandages or any kind of tape to bind. They just are horrible for you. They can do terrible things, and it's just not safe at all. And it really isn't that effective either. So thank you for watching. It's what I do personally, and it kind of sort of works, as I've mentioned. So if you wanted to give it a try again, it's the Genie bra and also a Champion sports bra. Mine is so lax and loose that I really don't know what size you would need or anything like that, but that's my concoction for binding success, which is important to me. I love binding as much as humanly possible because, quite frankly, wearing these, I mean, it's the size of my face. It gets really annoying really quickly. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to drop me a line, and have a great day.